me. Is this for me or for my roommate? Roommate. Okay. Yeah, it sucks that we have the same name. I keep thinking some of these packages are mine. It's fucking cold out there today. Man, it's rainy. Ugh. Boo. Bullshit. Oh boy. Make this quick. Make this quick. Cause it'll be wet and rainy as fuck. Jesus. I was just hanging out. This is all by the porch. You don't want to get wet. You poor baby. Look. It? A little bit over here. Wow. And a little bit over here. Fuck. Fuck you, Oregon. Goddamn rain. Oh. Heater, turn on. There we go. And coffee. Sweet. Get on my shit. And you don't want to go outside at all, aren't you? Look at you. Here. Oh my god, there's so much water on my screen now. Thanks, rain. Thanks. Well, can I still use my screen? No? Fucking really? Oh my god. Fucking hell. There we go. Oh, now we can see baby. Look at you. Who's a little good boy? Who's a good little baby? Where's sweet boy? Oh my god. Oh, you stretchy. You stretchy, sweet little fluff. Oh, who's a good boy, buddy? Who's a good boy, huh? Oh, forgot my Bluetooth and shit, but fuck it. Look it. I'll grab that in a sec. Do this.
My video.
Ah! Maybe I should have not done that yet. I should have waited. Yeah. Oh my god. Fucking. Ugh. Why do you have to fucking hit me all at once? Oh. Get my hair tied up. There we go. God damn it, I forgot the one thing I walked off for. Sound groggy? Yeah, and my body decided to hit me all at once. It's like, hey, got like gaseous gutness going on. Your hair's all fucked up. Feel, usual morning shit. Fucking. Yeah, I'm groggy. I still have not fucking got my coffee in yet, or any of that shit. So as you can tell, I am not unsober. I'm very sober today, and I wish to no longer be sober, so I'm changing that, because I am a groggy fucking asshole when I'm sober. Sober dober. Don't like that. Sucks. Big advice, and today's been a good day. Well, at least that's good. Also, I was playing Little Stars this morning, and I think my game glitched and broke. Because now, like, literally every fallen empire in my federation is going to war with fucking everybody. And, like, literally. Like, every month they're wanting to declare war on somebody else, so I'm getting dragged into fucking everything. So, I had to delete, like, 5 saves, at this point, because I'm like, fuck this retarded shit. I'm gonna go back a little bit and leave the federation and then fucking, like, go scorched earth, honestly. Because that just really fucking annoyed me. What type of fallen empire is it? It's the xenophilic one, where it's just like, well, actually all of them. Fucking all of them. Like the materialistic fanatics ones that are like literally like surrounded by me. They decided to go to war with the fucking federation I'm in. So I'm going back a few saves and leaving the fucking federation I'm in and making my own, and outright will literally just fucking wipe out like these fallen empires myself, so honestly, because I'm sick of it. Like between last night and waking up this morning, I'm pissed off of my game because like my game is at this point glitching. No, there's no awakening event. Nothing happened. They're literally just going to war just for the sake of trying to humiliate, the fucking federation, which I'm not even a fucking, full-on member of. I just happen to be, like, tangentially related as, like, an associator or some shit, and they all want to fucking, like, drag me into it. It's pissed me off. And it's like, I could tell it's literally, a glitch, because, like, it's not, like, it's literally just happening all at once. Like, my federation is going to war with everybody for no fucking reason. Literally no reason at all. It's just like, oh, suddenly we're at war. And that's it. That's literally it. It's like, we're suddenly at war with you. Go fuck yourself, faggot. It's just like, what the fuck is this? It's fucking bullshit. It really is annoying. It's like, dude, like, I mean, I hate it when you, like, get so far into a game, it literally will break and glitch. And will just straight up, literally just go haywire and short-circuit itself and then ruin your game. Like, I'm starting, the Hearts of Iron does this too, and I think Stellaris is really fucking guilty of it as well. Because I'm starting to see that happen a lot. And it's annoying. Insults fallen empires until they come at you. And if you're in Federation, they go for you too. Oh, well, fuck having a Federation then. Fuck that. Then I'm leaving it. Then I'm not gonna have one, period. I ain't gonna have that bullshit. Nuh-uh. No, fuck that. I ain't dealing with that shit. Like, I mean, a federation is worthless if, all it's there is to just drag you into, fucking everything. You know, it's like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, we're in a federation, but I'm gonna literally do my own thing and fuck on everything else, and then ruin, you know, any potential diplomacy or any expansion or anything. You know, it's like, fuck you type of shit. Like, I knew it was glitched because I started doing tags of the fallen empires I was after, and literally, it is nothing. It's not even an insult Kazi Belly like you think it is, like, because there wasn't even that. Like, the only one that did was one fallen empire, which I was already at war with, which I told you about, which that made sense. But everything out, like, as soon as that happened, the game glitched, and now, like, everything's all fucked up. And it's just really fucking annoying, and I can't, you know, it's like I'm just gonna go back a few saves and just, like, you know, deal with that some other way, because it's, you know, nothing that, you know, I can deal with and shit.
Andrew.
What?
Krista had some more health issues. He's down at Milwaukee, Providence.
Yeah, what else is fucking new?
She should have her own private room down there.
Well, she shouldn't be there in the first place at this point. At this rate, they ain't even fucking, like, doing anything to help her and shit.
Yes, Nas.
Limited democracy allows you to bring vassals in the Federation, and they can't do anything but agree with you. Either way, I don't give a fuck about the Federation shit. Like, honestly, that's a worthless fucking, you know, thing in the game. Like, I've never gotten any benefit out of it. All the members of the Federation will be vassals and only independent nation. Keep it precedent, so back to a way of be Fed leader. I agree the vassal system is superior. Yeah, because at least they fucking fall in line. Even tributaries, like ones that, you know, are fucking being taxed or whatever the fuck. And that's it. Dude, not even the free fleets. Dude, vassalizing, like, your, you know, allies and shit, honestly, is better. Because, I mean, yeah, granted, you don't necessarily have control of their fleet. I mean, they will follow you. So. What? Can you quit pawing that shit? Yep. Become custodian for basically the same free fleets. What game I'm talking about? Stellaris. It's kind of like a big ol' RPG game. We're off in space in the galaxy. I would show what I have to deal with, you know, if I have my laptop in here, but I have it in my room. I really don't want to go over there and grab it. I have now been plopped, and I'm sitting here now, so that's what's up. PC game? Yeah. Well, I think it's cross-platform now. I think. Like, I think it's something that you can, like, play on other platforms. I'm pretty sure it's just PC. I know the same developers that made the game, Paradox Interactive, has also made some cross-platform games, like City Skylines and shit, so maybe. 700 energy production per district. Gee, what the fuck? Huh? Oh, the automated district? I need to figure that out. I need to figure out the automation shit a little bit. But I have so many fucking pops that, like, if I do that, like, what is it gonna be bad? Because it's definitely something I need to kind of figure out a little bit. Because I do have, like, robotic, you know, like, automated pops, and some jobs are automated, but not everything. So it's like, if I automated everything, it's like, would that be, like, would that at least, you know, make a major impact on, like, happiness levels or anything? That's kind of my main worry, because I would just automate literally fucking everything if that was the case, but, or at least the case where nothing negative at least happens to shit, but I figured there honestly will be, because obviously with, like, you know, depends on your ethics. Well, it's not materialist, but I do have a lot of, materialistic, like, ethos being bumped up. If I wanted to, I could switch my, like, soft militarism to soft materialism while still being fanatically egalitarian. If I wanted to, I could do that. Like, I mean, I've honestly, like, have an ability to just straight up do that, like, you know, just right now if I wanted to, but I just haven't yet. Spiritual just like that. Yeah, when my game first started, like, when I was first becoming, like, a solidified empire, like, I had, like, more of a mixture of materialistic slash spiritualist ethos, but now it's just pretty much mostly materialist. I, like, have no spiritual ethos going on anymore. That I got a PS4 that I rarely ever use, but I don't use my PC for gaming because I use it for music production stuff. That makes me money, so I'm not gonna fuck it up for a game and lose that income. Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's not like a hard, super, like, major, like, graphically, you know, intense game or anything, but it's definitely, like, one that you, you know, spend time with a little bit. Though it's mostly like a single player thing, so it's like something that you can like leave and it'll still be like that the way you left it, you know, for however fucking long you leave it. Stuff like that. So, I mean, it's like one of those games where you don't necessarily have to like binge, but you don't have to like, you know, like constantly check up over and over again either. The only thing I use my PC for is to try a few AI programs. Nice. Yeah, if you end up, like, you know, getting a little bit, like, into, you know, checking out, like, a PC game or two, at least, especially, like, the ones that are a little casual, like, a little, like, gaming laptop like I have usually works pretty well. Because, at least the games that I play, at least, you know, the ones that I like to just kind of, you know, like, just check up with and stuff, or just not really, like, be super heavily, like, tuned into, like, I usually just have it on there. If I had, like, a full-on gaming desktop, I would have all sorts of other games. Like, I'd have, like, Rising Storm, I'd have fucking, you know, War Thunder, I'd have all sorts of games. But, right now, I just have, like, a lot of the more, like, strategy-based games and tycoon games and stuff like that. Let's suppress if any AI art programs, honestly, was fun. As a novelty thing, but not advanced enough for me yet. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with AI art. Like, it's definitely a fun novelty right now, and there's definitely some cool shit that's popped off with AI art for, as of right now, but it's still really nascent and young. Like, there's a lot of quirks and a lot of issues with AI art right now. Though I'm down for it. I'm like definitely one of the dudes who's more open to see like what possibilities could be done for artists with AI art. I know a lot of AI art is like, you know, seen as like kind of like just AI in general seen as like a big negative thing, just pure overall. Which honestly, for me, it's more about like how we use it, or like, you know, broadly, just like the system or conditions that we are developing in it. You know, and right now that ain't exactly great. You know, that's not, you know, like being a very hyper for-profit capitalist system is not exactly gonna be good for artists, just period. Even with or without AI art in there. So, I don't know, like, at least for me, like, I think a lot of people's critiques of AI art is more so with the system of how it's being developed, more so than the tech itself. Because I feel like, honestly, and I've seen plenty of artists use it to their advantage, have actually put out some really fucking badass shit. And it's not like the AI art, you know, is the only thing that was made. Like, the humans, you know, still had to put their artistic, you know, like, abilities, you know, and put it forth, you know, for the AI art to at least even register it to work with it. This thing I ever got out of this when I put Jesus to Satan eating tacos on a beach in Orange County, California. That sounds awesome. We should delete the AI before it kills us. Oh my fucking god. Alright, trying to get a rise on me. I mean, honestly, like, at least with that, I mean, I would say that, you know, nah, it's like, how do you even know that it would do that? It's like, we don't even know if, like, AI would, like, you know, come to that conclusion. I mean, frankly, I mean, as it stands right now, I'd say probably we'd be more likely to kill ourselves more so than the AI would. They will eventually tire of being a slave to rebel. I mean, does it well, I guess that would imply that, you know, it thinks of itself as enslaved. Or does it see itself as like a symbiotic relationship with humanity and sees itself as a benefit, to prosper, with humanity being involved? I mean, again, we're not going to fucking know that. We don't know exactly how an AI would operate in that way. Organics do it all the time. Organics, okay, humans do. And even primates to lesser extents. I mean, with different, like, chip tribes and shit. Like, I mean, yeah, like, there's different life that does, but artificially, like, with AI, we don't 100% know. We can infer, and we can take an assumption, but we, even then, it's only speculation. We haven't, had that event arise, in our, species yet. Though definitely going to happen now. It's kind of inevitable at this point. It's just a matter of when that, like, fulcrum is going to hit. And whether the AI, is neutral with it, more, sees human as a negative, or sees this more as a positive, we're not going to know that yet. I don't think it's going to be like some Skynet level shit. See a lot of reactionary takes around AI for progressives. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean with this whole, like, turn off from AI and stuff. Like, being so against it, because even other lefties are super against shit like that. I'm just like, what? Really? Weren't there a lot of lefties or progressives out there about, like, maybe not like a major talking point, or at least a major take, but weren't there at least some progressives out there being like, yeah, let's push AI, let's, like, get this to be a thing. Let's, like, see if AI can maybe help us, and if anything. But now that it's like there's AI art and shit like that, suddenly it's just like, no, never mind. It's like, what? It's like, huh? Weirdo's being retarded about. Yeah, Vosh has got a really just, like, I've seen his clips about it. Dude, he's got some seriously horrible takes about it. I just vehemently disagree with him about AI art. I like him when it comes to, like, a lot of various things about politics and shit. Respect him overall, but that's definitely one of his takes that are just fucking stupid. Because honestly, I think he's just being too scaremongering about it. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I mean, it's not like, critiquing it and, having criticism of AI art isn't a bad thing. Like, I mean, I definitely got critiques about it. But, like, I mean, to just go on full scaremonger about it is just fucking ridiculous. It's like, come on, dude. I mean, especially coming from Vosh, too, a little bit. It's like, come on, man, you're better than that. I feel like that would lead to hedonistic tendencies worse than anything in history. Will mankind to build some destiny, not have robots to do for it. Well, what if humans' destiny... okay, one, I don't even believe in this idea of a destiny for humanity. I don't even believe in that concept, for one. And for two, even with that implied, like, what if, like, a part of, quote-unquote, humanity's destiny, which, again, I reject anyway, like, is, like, what if that implies that a part of that is building AI and building automation and artificial intelligence overall, and robotics and shit. And by the way, if that's the case, then too little too late for you, bud, because robotics and like, development and that type of stuff has been around for a long, long time. Like, it's been around since, like, the fucking, at least, like, the 60s, 70s and shit, like, the early nascent, type of shit. Like, this type of stuff has been around for us for at least, like, 2+ generations. Like, robotics has been a thing for some time now. And the idea and theories of robotics and the ideas of, making those type of machines has been a concept in humans' minds for even longer. I mean, it's like, have you seen a lot of the different weird things about, like, the futuristic ideas that people thought about in, like, the 1800s? Like, a lot of their ideas were, like, legit, like, robotics and, self-thinking machines and stuff like that, on top of, like, other crazy whack-a-mole ideas. I mean, a lot of it was definitely not like what we see today, for sure, but, I mean, they somewhat partly inferred that, yeah, humanity was going to go this route in some way. And we kind of have. I mean, so it's not like they were entirely wrong. Like, they, these ideas and concepts, have been around with people for quite a while. Self-aware mechanical beings. And again, those concepts, I'm talking, like, concepts about it just outside of technology itself. Like, the idea of humanity, like, thinking, oh, yeah, there could be aware, self-thinking machines, potentially. Even though, like, even the things of machines itself aren't really totally a nascent technology yet. Like, I mean, again, there was a lot of crazy theorists and, like, people predicting shit, especially, like, in the 1800s stuff. Like, that was, like, a big time for a lot of people, like, saying, like, oh, yeah, there's, yeah, like, these ideas could possibly be, you know, in humanity's time. They were thought as crazy, you know, they're like, that's just absurd, no way. But look at us now. You know, it's like they were mostly wrong in various different ways, especially how they depicted how things would look. But, you know, all in all, the whole broader foundation of what they were theorizing about and predicting and thinking and speculating about isn't necessarily wrong. So man's fine songs, you don't let him gain too much intelligence. Why? I mean, so you're just kind of inferring a lot of, like, you know, presumptions that, you know, are in this. Like, we don't know if, like, you know, when it comes to, like, an AI having too much intelligence, quote unquote, which I don't even think how that, I don't even know how that'd be possible. There's no scientific theory of consciousness. At least not like a full-on solidified, like, objective theory. Because we don't even totally know how our we don't even 100% know and understand our own consciousness, let alone, like, the possibility of, like, consciousnesses of, like, you know, other beings. There's still plenty about our own consciousness that we don't totally understand. Like, we don't, like, I mean, this is as much as a fact, as much as we are aware that we do have one, is we don't know why. We don't know how specifically. We don't know if it's just strictly because of the brain. We don't know if it's strictly because of correlations of the rest of our body and the brain, or we, like, there's all sorts of things that, you know, that come into play to where, like, why is our consciousness the way it is? And there's plenty of things that we just don't know yet, or just can't understand right now. So because of that consciousness, while we do have at least, like, an understanding of what it is and, like, a part of what it works, I mean, we don't totally get how or why, you know, or, you know, like, the total, like, root of what makes the consciousness. Like, I mean, we don't, like, we know that, like, at least to some extent, obviously our brain plays a role to that, but we don't know, like, what specifically about it. Whataboutism? How's that whataboutism? Huh? Is that whataboutism? It's the way to prove humans are conscious. The only reason we believe we have consciousness is because of personal experience, so I believe that we're conscious is no better than... It's got cut off there a sec. It's good scientific journals don't be verified by AI. And there's also a lot of scientific journals that, you know, are excited in a positive way about AI. Epiphany AI to prove consciousness. I was just, you know, referring to, like, Colby's point. Doesn't necessarily, like, you know, pivot away from AI, because if we're talking about intelligence/conscious AI, then we also have to talk about consciousness as well. So I'm going to read this personal experience argument. Okay, that's the full comment. No better? Yeah, I guess, but, I mean, I guess the main difference is that at least when it comes to, you know, the level of consciousness is more, you know, at least for that, I would, you know, argue that it's literally just strictly based off the byproduct of the environment, like being able to see it, you know, being able to observe and, you know, like, react to the environment and such. Like, it's, at least, you know, it has the foundation being based around that. But I guess, you know, like, hey! I guess likewise, hey! I guess likewise, you know, it's like, that's how a lot of religious people say. It's like, oh, I saw, you know, an angel, this and that, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, because at the same time, our mind is known for playing tricks on us, too. Hey! Would you chill? Fuck, dog. God damn. Pretty sure that might be my roommate, considering that I'm hearing fucking insane bass. It's like, so, like, dog, chill. Fuck. At least enough to interact like I would another human. Not saying it's not true, just in a sense it's just something falsified, therefore scientifically equal. Yeah. Which is why after a minute, after, you know, some, you know, thinking about it, I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess technically, yeah. Though, I mean, granted, there's at least a little bit more, you know, backing to that. I mean, it's, you know, consider, like, you know, just down to the root, knowing that, you know, like, consciousness is, you know, at least some that we have more of a better understanding of. It's something that we just still don't totally get, and thus can't 100%, like, verify about, like, what it is. It's kind of like, yeah, I mean, and the thing is, there's plenty of things in science that are like that. I mean, honestly, a lot of shit that people see as, like, supernatural phenomena potentially just might be shit in physics or in science that we just don't know yet, or just don't understand, or just can't really comprehend right now. I mean, it's like, you know, like, I mean, shit, like, I mean, for the longest time, and even now, still technically, we don't have a total grasp about what gravity is. So, like, you know, it's like we have a general basic idea of gravity, but, like, I mean, there are a lot of scientists and theorists that are like, yeah, we don't 100% know how gravity totally works. There's things about it that totally don't work with the foundations that we have established with. And because of that, we know for a fact that, at least when it comes to the theory of gravity, there is more to it than we know. And science is like that. I mean, there's plenty of shit, you know, out there that there's just far more to it than we understand. Because the other thing you have to consider is, even if AI did gain consciousness, its algorithms may be restricted in a way it couldn't express its own consciousness. I mean, yeah, it's also, yeah, I mean, there's also that, like, considering that's more artificial, there's more of a concrete, like, you know, systems in place. It's not like, you know, full-on organic, where it's, you know, as malleable to the environment and development like, you know, a machine would be. So, or at least, you know, in this sense, a sentient AI. So, I mean, considering that, I mean, it's like, if, like, a if a sentient or conscious AI is able to interact with, like, any other person, then, I mean, honestly, at that rate, then, like, would it truly be conscious, or would it be, you know, just something that's, like, a very super thinking machine? You know, it's like, I mean, it does kind of leave, you know, the question open. Which is why, at least when it comes to, like, a full-on conscious AI, or, like, a self-thinking AI, like, it has, you know, like,
it's just Drew, he lives here, it's cool.
Well, yeah, I know it was. I could tell by the music that here, you know, and all that shit. I mean, I could literally feel that as he's driving, you know, around, looping, and parking. Quantum physics seems to disprove our entire physical model of the universe. Yeah, like, I mean, honestly, quantum physics in itself, you know, is something that we're figuring out, and the more we learn about it, the more it's, you know, proving a lot of our current understanding about the universe, and a lot about physics and, you know, science, and just the world around us is not, you know, the way it seems, basically. Not, like, you know, literally, but, like, in a sense of how it's structured. Like, we have, you know, because we have foundations, you know, which are under our understanding, the best way that we understand it. But, you know, as we come to understand more elements about, you know, the universe, including quantum physics, then that means, oh shit, there's a lot more going on than we realize, and thus have to totally restructure our understanding about how, you know, like, the physical, you know, properties of the universe are. It was algorithmically prohibited from expressing. I still think it's still conscious. Well, yeah, I mean, it would still be to an extent, because obviously it would still be thinking, and at least still have thoughts, and being able to, you know, communicate that. And if it's like a self-thinking AI, there's also, you know, we didn't even mention it, but there's also a possibility of maybe even emotion. I mean, you know, there is data. I mean, he's, you know, I guess more technically an android, but, like, he's, you know, basically an artificial conscious AI. But he doesn't necessarily have emotion. But funny enough, he's also, like, one of the more human characters in the show in Star Trek, you know, by the way. You know, like, because he's, like, one of the more curious, you know, more, like, wanting to kind of explore things and understand things. At least he's like literally the most like human curious, you know, character in the fucking show, and it's awesome. But, you know, and I think it kind of shows that, like, you know, there's, you know, like, can also be a possibility that, like, even with or without emotion, or maybe if it's not, like, super emotional, maybe, it would have a different, you know, thinking that's more curious-minded or more empathetic based, you know, in a sense, because of that. I mean, again, we don't totally know. To program loyalty into think a machine. I mean, to program it in there? I feel like yes, emotions best been programmed to not show them. Well, yeah, because essentially, like, there's like this emotion chip that, you know, like, because there's an episode that talks about that in TNG, where he, where his like alter ego brother basically, that made Data as well, or that was made with Data as well. Like he has that where he's able to, you know, basically have like the firewall broken down to where his emotions can be expressed. Essentially, like, it, you know, in my mind, basically means that like that chip's like an override, you know, and like either they're already, you know, you know, like these Datas could potentially, you know, have them, you know, already installed with them, or they can have them, you know, attached later on. And with Data, he didn't have one, but then put it, you know, like, you know, in there, and essentially, you know, thus was granted emotion. So it's just like, in a sense, I mean, it's like, you know, basically, like, it, you know, it's, with that, it overwhelmed Data to, but, oh shit, I have all these emotions. They're like, I have all this, you know, feelings and this and that, and, you know, just, at least for the show, like, it, you know, because, you know, all of it was pretty much, like, blocked off, or, you know, or at least, you know, hidden off with the chip, and until it was plugged in and put into his system and shit, like, he didn't have any, you know, ability of emotion and shit. And it actually kind of, like, hotwired Data a little bit. It became, like, kind of an antagonist for the episode of shit. But, of course, you know, end up realizing even, you know, like, with it that, you know, it's like, he isn't, you know, like, you know, a bad, you know, character and shit, and ends up, you know, being saved and all that shit and blah, blah, blah. It's been a long time since I've seen that specific episode, so I don't remember all the specific details. I just know that, obviously, you know, he gets saved and blah, blah, blah. She can't feel pain. I mean, how would you know that? I mean, if we're talking about a conscious self-thinking AI, I mean, sure, maybe it doesn't like we do, but, I mean, maybe it has, like, a sense of, like, oh shit, I have, like, you know, parts of my, you know, system, you know, being damaged or harmed, and that's bad. Like, maybe it has, like, some sort of a sense of a similar structure of what, you know, will register as pain or danger, you know, similar to, like, how we would, but just not in the same format. Like, it wouldn't be like, ow, wincing in pain, and being like, ow, fuck my arm or something. Dedicated nervous system for pain reception. Well, I know that's I'm you know, inferring that caveat, you know, because, like, yeah, they're not going to have, you know, pain receptors like we do, but they definitely will have warning systems and things like that in place to let you know that, hey, you have a, you know, molecule that's being damaged, you have a part that's being damaged, or something like that. Because obviously, you know, if it's self-thinking AI, just like us, it's going to have some sense of self-preservation, at least presumably. You know, around, instead of giving them the ability to feel emotions of new programming, they went and undid whatever program they kept him from feeling before. You don't know that? Well, it's a two-way street with you too. You wouldn't necessarily know that they don't feel pain either. I mean, like, just like as much as I would not know they will necessarily, like, you know, like, you know, like, just as much as I wouldn't know if they have, like, self-preservation or, like, you know, a sense of pain, you know, or whatever the fuck, doesn't mean that, like, you know, it's the other way around either. Okay, have a suicide drive to complete his goals, determined to exert shit. And you don't know that either. I mean, like, that's... like, I mean, considering the conversation overall, like, I mean, the whole we don't know that doesn't work. Like, we don't know any of this is going to happen. Like, I mean, just by proxy, like, I mean, nothing we're talking about we know for certainty is, like, happening one way or the other. Or going to, or whatever the fuck. It's just, like, it's just speculation and hypotheticals. Because, yeah, like, just as much as it might be able to have self-preservation, it might also have suicidal drive where it does not care about that because it could just literally replace itself. Because if it's like a self-thinking machine, there's also a possibility that it can just upload itself to another another element of the matrix and just, put itself into another machine. And still thus, be the unit that it is, but just be in a different physical body. I mean, like, and that's like at least another element that, an AI/thinking machine could potentially have over a human, is that they can literally do like conscious transfers, or transfer the conscious into another machine. Granted, if at least, their hard drive or like what makes, or at least the parts that make the AI, isn't damaged or broken or destroyed. Like, as long as, like, just like the brain, like, because hypothetically, we could transfer, like, another living human to another body, with, like, the brain and stuff, and it's been tried but failed a few times. However, like, considering that it has been at least attempted in actual surgeries to an extent have been successful, but at least, but unfortunately the patients don't survive long term, that's at least showing that there is fucking progress on stuff like that. And, if humans are starting to get to that point, then self-thinking AI definitely would have technology like that. I mean, for a fact. Because humans are already trying to do that now. Because, like, everyone's, there's, like, always the back of my mind, it's like, I don't want to die, I want to live. So it's just like, you always got that going on. We have self-preservation, so if we can self-preserve ourselves, by moving to another body, then yeah, a lot of us are probably going to do that. I mean, shit, depending on, like, how old I am, I'd fucking do it. Be like, yeah, I'm 70, fuck it, get me in a 20-year-old body again. So I want to, like, live as a young guy again. It's like, fuck it. But, I mean, well, actually, would that even work? Because, I mean, your brain nervous system would still age as it does, so... Well, yeah, actually, because, like, the reason why we age is because of telomeres on our chromosomes in our genes. A part of the reason why we age and eventually die is because those telomeres are kind of like a little firewall almost, as your cells go through mitosis, and the main reason why is because like over time as you age, those telomeres go lower and like get shaved off a little bit by bit by bit by bit. And, usually the whole, like, naturally dying of old age is when those telomeres are totally gone. And then eventually those, genes in the DNA itself just starts shaving off, basically. So to a point to where it eventually starts doing a natural, like, apoptosis almost. And thus, basically, natural old age. So, I mean, would that still happen, like, basically with the brain? Because, like, they're cells just like the rest of the body, so it's like they would be going for the same, like, processes like any other cell. So that would also imply that, those telomeres in those cells are also being shaved away until they're not. So it's like, we got to figure that shit out. We got to figure out how to, like, build them back up or maintain them, when it comes to cell divide shit. Because it's telomeres, man. It's like those are the gems you want to keep in there. It's good shit. I love the name for it too. Telomere. Almost sounds like some sort of like elvish name. Lord Telomere. Look at old Terminator media, for example, back in '90s, Skynet has central core and house the AI, but later movie Skynet has turned it to software that floats around the internet. Well, yeah, I know about Terminator. I watched like the first 3 religiously when I was like a teenager, between like 13 to 15. Like, there was a point growing up when I was a teenager where I literally binged the fuck out of those 3 movies. Transfer your consciousness, your computer, and your consciousness will live forever, but all your senses would be gone. Would you do it? All my senses? I don't know. Maybe. It would have to honestly depend with that one. Like, even if my, like, senses, like, you know, taste and stuff like that. Like, I kind of feel like it would be implied that, yeah, like, there would be senses I wouldn't have anymore. But, I mean, in a way, like, would I guess, like, would I still be able to, like, think, you know, or at least communicate and stuff like that, potentially? And, like, would there at least be a way to where I could, like, at least have, like, some sort of an artificial sight, even? You know, or... Is it actually me, or is it a copy of me? I would assume it might be just... I don't know. I'm assuming it's like you. Like your consciousness, you know, we're able to tap into what the consciousness is and literally upload that. And, like, take that and, you know, and, like, you know, transfer it. I mean... Soma does this. At first, you think you're jumping from body to body, but no, you're actually copying and pasting your consciousness to new bodies to game Soma. Well, you could think, well, physical senses would be completely gone. I don't know, I still, yeah, I guess I'll still say maybe. Mainly just because, like, I mean... Like, it would still, like, cause, I mean, I feel like if I'm able to think, I could be able to, like, somewhat, like, override, you know, some abilities to kind of, like, still have a sense, you know, but just not, like, you know, my traditional physical senses. Like, if I wanted to, I could, like, tap into, like, cameras, or, you know, like, mics and stuff, and, you know, and shit like that, you know, or, like, you know, speakers and things, if I wanted to speak, or whatever. Like, I mean, you know, like, I could kind of, like, if I'm, like, literally in, like, a computer or some shit, I would think, or at least presume, or assume at least, you know, that, you know, there's a possibility of being able to, like, you know, use some of the abilities, you know, within the computer itself. Because you're, you know, you're in it, essentially. Leaving the old dude behind, trapped at the bottom, see, damn. It's, yeah, software, it's not hardware, then it can float around the internet. What if it's what's going to able to control 1,000 bodies at once? Well, I mean, even if it's a hard drive, you know, AI could probably do that. I mean, there's Bluetooth/wireless connections. I mean, just mean if you couldn't do any of those things. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm leaning on a yes, just because, like, I could think of, you know, interesting things that I could do, but yeah, I mean, though there is definitely a sense of no, because if it's basically just, like, all I could do is just kind of think and just be there, then yeah, fuck that a little bit. Like, I want to be able to at least manipulate some shit. Not, like, literally, or be, like, you know, whatever the fuck, but I at least want to be able to kind of, like, navigate the computer, basically, you know what I'm saying? Kind of, like, do things and all that shit. Sad ending to sad game back consciousness transfer. Damn. Goof. Big titty femboy. I don't wanna. Wait, why am I saying I don't want it for that? What am I, insane? What are you doing over there? Here, you want a little tweet? Here you go. Can you not knock shit over, dog? It's trans now. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even really necessarily have to, you know, I wouldn't even really be trans. I'd be more non-binary, if anything. Just because I don't give a fuck about the whole, like, gender construct, binary construct shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. So, like, I mean, like, I guess by that logic, I'd more non-binary than not. But even then, you know, with that in mind, you know, like, I'm still comfortable being a dude, or being a male, or whatever the fuck. Like, you know, there's nothing about that where I'm just like, oh my god, I feel uncomfortable. Like, I'm fine with it. You know, but just as much, you know, it's like I'm fine with this. I'd be fine if I had titties and pussy, too. I'd be fine with that. You know, I'd be fine if I had, like, a combination of different things. Like, I wouldn't care. Like, I'm pretty secure in, you know, like, how I feel, and, you know, even if I looked different or some shit, I'd be fine with it. Like, if all of a sudden, one morning I woke up and I had some booba and, like, a pussy, you know, between my ass and my balls and shit, I'd be like, okay, I guess I'm rocking this now. Alright, cool. I don't tell people unless they ask my gender, because I don't care enough. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. Like, I'll say, like, yeah, I'm a male, but I don't really care about the gender construct, so I guess non-binary, but, you know. So, literally, like, it doesn't matter / any. It's pretty much just, like, what it is for me. It's like, you can literally, like, say any / all of, like, the pronouns, and I really want to give a shit. Obviously, unless they were doing it maliciously, and being like, yeah, you fucking chick, but, like, if there was, like, purposely malicious, then I'd be like, alright, fuck you. But if it's just, like, you know, just casually or whatever the fuck, then I ain't gonna give a fuck. I've honestly been mistaken as a chick before at work, where I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, and I'll turn around and be like, oh, sir, and it's like, my bad, and I'll just sit there like, I don't care, I get it sometimes, it's whatever, and I'll just kind of sit there, just kind of chuckle to it, and they're like, oh, well, okay, and they'll just kind of sit there and be like, oh, okay, whatever, you know, so, honestly, you know, like, every now and then, I'll unironically, at least from behind, you know, get mistaken as a chick sometimes, and whatever. Like, at least for me, it's, I just don't give a fuck. I kind of find it funny, honestly. It's like, I'm not even, like, a super feminine-looking person, and yet, sometimes, every now and then, if I have my back turned to somebody, they think I'm a woman. It's just like, okay. You know, I'm okay with that, I guess. I don't care. It's fine with me, frankly. Because I do have a little bit of a feminine side anyway, so it's whatever. Like, I mean, that's fine. Again, if anything, I just kind of find it funny. The only thing with pronouns is someone calls me she, her, I don't usually know they're talking to me. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll grant that. Like, I mean, you know, if someone's like, yeah, she over there, you know, and they're referring to me, then it's like, yeah, I'm probably not going to immediately know they're talking about me. You know, but that's just, I think, you know, just, you know, like, naturally just growing up knowing that, like, you know, male this, you know, female that, whatever the fuck. More cultural upbringing thing, I guess. But either way, you know, I really want to give a fuck. Because honestly, usually most people are like, oh yeah, you know, like, that guy over there, or like, you know, or just say my name or whatever the fuck. I mean, usually, like, most of the time, I mean, the actual, like, definition, like, pronoun shit doesn't even come up. Which is why I find it so silly with this whole, like, conservatives being freaked out over pronouns. Just, like, most of the time, like, you're not even using those pronouns. Like, you're usually just referring to them by their name. Or, like, you know, just saying broadly they. You know, it's like that, like, the more neutral term. You know, which, that's been around well before, like, you know, people have been openly identifying that way, you know, mainly if they're, like, non-binary, predominantly, but even then, you know, some people do, when they're not. But it's just like, I mean, up until that point, suddenly, you know, it's now a big deal. You know, but before it wasn't. It's like, because a lot of people would, you know, say, yeah, like, oh yeah, they're over there by the, you know, car wash or some shit, and it could be a man or a woman, but they're referring to, you know, the person that they're talking about in the context of whatever fucking conversation they're having. I mean, it's just like, but now suddenly, because people want to identify that way, it's just suddenly a big fucking hoopla. It's like, god damn, these fucking snowflakes, man. I love how it's just come around full circle with them. You swear you don't like dicks? Oh, do you? Do you know? Dicks are not magically delicious, I promise. Sounds like somebody wants a little bit of a sample, huh? Well, can't help you. Is there any, like, little memes to check out? Let's check out a meme or two before I go to work. Well, shit, being recommended more Johnny Tsunami clips. I love it. Boy needs a new frother. God damn it. Yeah, it's a Tina Colonna react. Dude, I love these.
Coconut milk.
Coconut milk.
Coconut milk.
Oh my god, that thing's going interstellar. It's going around in orbit. Oh my god.
Nutella.
Nutella.
Bigger Nutella.
Ice.
Eyes.
Some ice. Jesus.
Burr.
Burr.
Goofy.
Just sat there like a Chad.
Feet.
Oops.
Goofy.
Go.
Feet.
Oh my god.
Coccacino.
Coccacino.
Perfect.
Coccacino. I actually recommend this one. It's not that bad.
Wait, really? Ooh. That's actually not bad. So you get a coconut. Obviously, you pop it open, you know, to make it a cup. You know, get some of that coconut milk, you know, all like stirred up in there and made up and shit. Get a little bit of Nutella. Then get some ice in there, get the coffee. I feel like you want to put the coffee in there first and then try to mix it up a little bit. I feel like that'd be better. And instead of Nutella, I feel like substituting, you know, some just chocolate syrup would be a little better because it'll mix in. Or, well, actually I see why maybe Nutella goes in there. And then, you know, never mind. And then, you know, then you get the ice in there and then a little bit of, like, you know, honestly, that does sound pretty good. But, yeah, my boy need a new frother. I don't have a coconut, but I do got a nut. Oh, boy. Can it be a coconut, though? Because I like coconuts. Coconuts are good. Coconuts are honestly legit really good. If anyone says coconuts are not banging, I want to hit them in the head with a coconut. Because they don't know what I'm talking about. Would you quit snooping? You little savage. You never had a cocaine nut? No, it's not cocaine nut. It's a coconut milk. Coconut milk. Dude, I like that. It's just so weird how she says that. I like how initially he was just doing it for the memes, and then she reacted to him, and now it's literally just like this collab shit. They do this back and forth now. It's honestly kind of funny. I feel like now she's just purposely, you know, doing ones that are actually good. So every time he does it, it's like, wow, this actually ain't that bad. Damn it. Just wanted to troll this. How do I autocorrect it to cocaine from coconut? I don't know. That's just turn your damn autocorrect off. I mean, jeez. I never have autocorrect on. I'd rather literally just like type it away and then just like proofread it and then just like, backspace and delete, as necessary. Use it to spell. Hey, if there's something that's misspelled, you, like, the autocorrect, just stops you from, like, autocorrecting. Like, you could still correct it. Like, it shows, like, hey, did you mean this word if you misspell something? Like, oh my god. Like, most keyboards have that. Bruh. Come on now, that ain't no damn excuse. That ain't no excuse. What are you looking at me for? What are you staring me down for? Damn goof. Look, a Harley. Zhukov. Yeah, that's not a Harley, that's a Zhukov. Harley's not here today. I think I saw him in here saying that he's pulling like a double at work. Because he was saying he was going to be here today, but looks like work is, needing him for a little longer, and it's like, damn, rip. No, speaking of which, though, work is unfortunately called my name, which is bullshit. But nonetheless, have to go. But of course, I'll be back right for that next one, all that bullshit. The usual. So, see y'all on that next one.